Hey friends, welcome back to another adventure. This week we find ourselves at a super nice spot I've never been to before. I've seen it many times. I've always thought I need to get there at some point. Well, today's that day. This campground opens up every year, May 1st. Today is May 1st. So we're here on opening day. Truck camper's just up behind the camera and we're right on the beautiful Black River. This is a state forest campground and we are in the Black River State Forest. We're gonna have a fire tonight. I'm gonna make a good meal. Everywhere you look is new life. All the sounds, the robins in the background. You never know what you're gonna see on the edge of a river. And I did purchase something pretty cool for the channel, which I'll get into in a little bit. But for now, the temp's dropping. It's in the upper 40s right now, but there's a pretty chilly breeze, and I think it's supposed to get down to into the mid to low 30s tonight. It was only a week ago and it was in the 80s. We just keep going in this cycle, guys. 80s, 30s, 80s, 30s. But I'm excited to get a fire going, and I'm hungry, so we'll probably cook right away. All right, so just had some neighbors show up. So some of them, they're Canadians, Canada geese, that is. So they're welcome neighbors for sure. All right, we're gonna let that fire get going and warming up so it's nice and warm by the time we get out to sit by it. For tonight, we're gonna do just some mac and cheese, and we're gonna cut up some wieners and put in it. It's gonna be oh so good. Don't judge my mess yet. I recently put air conditioning in the old truck camper for some future summer adventures, and I don't 100% know what my plan is with my fridge yet, because my fridge used to sit here. Now it's on the floor right here, and it might stay there. It's not totally in the way, but I'd like to figure something out that works a little better. Got to put at least a tablespoon in the water. Keeps the noodles from sticking. That's probably a little too much in the water, but that's what I like to do. Now while that's warming up, I should try to cook these weenies over the fire. That way at least they'll have a little campfire taste to them once we get them on here. Actually, let's just go do this outside. Well, while this continues to boil for a little while longer, let's start getting these cooked. All right, let's give these things a stir. We'll go down by the river and eat. Sounds like those Canada geese floated and meandered down around the corner. I can hear them in the distance. Oh, this is nice. Over by the river, the spring peepers are just going crazy. Man, I love that sound. So I did make a purchase, kind of for the channel, but kind of just for me too. I had mentioned it earlier, but basically I found a 2007 Nissan Xterra with the 4.0 liter V6, 6-speed manual, and it was one owner, low mileage, pretty clean. There's a little bit of rust on the back, top of the back fenders. It's a problem area for the Xterras. It's not too bad yet, so I can get it fixed. Here's a picture of it. I'm pretty excited about it. I love manual vehicles. I've been looking, not specifically for a Nissan Xterra, but it was on the short list. But I was looking for Jeep Cherokee, you know, like 99 to 2004 era. That's kind of the last body style, really, where you're getting a straight axle in the front. But otherwise, I was looking for basically any kind of smaller, more fuel efficient SUV with a manual. Now, some of you will probably reach out in the comments and say, well, a Nissan Xterra and a Jeep Grand Cherokee are not fuel efficient at all. You're not wrong, but when you're comparing it to my 4-door long box 3/4 ton Ram with 6.7 liter Cummins in it, with a camper on the back, with $5 diesel fuel, it's a lot more fuel efficient. And with it being a manual, it gets actually pretty good fuel economy. So I've had it for about a week and a half, and I did a lot of traveling this past week for work. And I was able to run the numbers on its miles per gallon 3 times. And all 3 times, some of it was mainly in city driving and some of it was highway driving. All 3 times I checked, the first time was 21.3 miles to the gallon. The second time was 21.1 miles to the gallon. And the last time I checked, just yesterday when I filled up again, it was 21.6 miles to the gallon. So my Xterra really just likes 21 miles to the gallon, 21 and a half miles to the gallon. And I'm perfectly happy with that. My plan is to put a very small lift on it. Looking at probably like a 2 or 2.5 inch lift, probably through All Dogs off-road. Not 100% sure yet, but I am sure that it will get lifted at some point. I'm gonna get some more aggressive tires on it when the ones that are on it wear out. I want to put a full exhaust on it. The inside I'd like to make so I can camp out inside of it if need be, but also a goal of mine at some point would be to get a rooftop tent. Not a full width one, but I'd like to find a single person clam style rooftop tent. That would be kind of like perfect for that because it wouldn't be too wide, be small and light on the top. So let me know, guys, down in the comments if you have any ideas on what to do with that thing. I'd like to put an awning on it, like a 270 awning or something like that. I'm going to sit out here, enjoy the fire, enjoy listening to those spring peepers, and let this fire die down. And I'll see you in the camper. Alrighty, well that was a super nice, relaxing evening out by the fire. Long overdue. The owls were The owls were pretty cool to hear. But I'm going to go ahead and go to bed for tonight. Tomorrow we're going to wake up, we're going to make some coffee, and then we're going to head out to a spot I haven't been to in a long time. But during my high school years, I spent a lot of my summer there. So we'll see you in the morning, friends. Good night. Morning, friends. We're going to get some coffee brewing and then head outside and see how the river's looking. Some would say I'm a creature of habit. Hey, I'm not going to turn down free shirts, all right? $39 outside, $70 in here. The time and stuff ain't right. It's definitely not 12:46 p.m. and it's definitely not 7:26 of 17. Not sure what's going on there. 2017 was back in those good old days. Oh, it's real pretty out this morning. Definitely chilly though. Let's go check out the river. All right, well, it sure is beautiful out here. I'll definitely be back to this little state forest campground. Got a mallard drake back there on the corner. Pretty cool to see. Doesn't look like he's got himself a lady right now. But I'm gonna get the camper road ready and we're gonna head out. I want to take you guys somewhere where I've spent a lot of time my high school years with one of my best friends, Tom. I got quite the story about Tom. Once we get there, I'll share it with you. All right, here we're beside the road. Rig's parked over there. So this was the little fishing spot that we used to go to. It was never really a spot where we would go and just, slay the fish. It was a spot that was fun to fish. And it was always real exciting when we did get a fish. But let me get down there. Now there was 2 other trucks parked up there, and I don't know if they're down here fishing or if they're hiked off back into the woods and doing a little turkey hunting. I'm not really sure, but we're about to find out. Alrighty, so as you can see here, we're on the edge of the Black River. It's a very rocky, somewhat difficult to traverse shore. But I'll go ahead and let you know the story, like this memory I'll never forget about this very spot. So I'll start it by explaining a little bit about my buddy Tom. He's an avid outdoorsman. I mean, lives, breathes, sleeps outdoors. And during our high school years, we were real into fishing. Pretty much all of our spare time was fishing. That or doing stuff to our trucks, but mainly fishing. Well, we'd come up here. So my grandparents owned a cabin on Lake Arbutus, which is just not even a mile away. So we'd come up to the cabin and we'd spend our weekends up here fishing and hunting and all that stuff. We'd always like to come here because it was fun to fish. Catch some rock bass, some suckers, all kinds of stuff. But there is also muskie in this river. If any of y'all fishermen out there know, they call the muskie the fish of 10,000 casts. So that's basically the odds. Every 10,000 casts you're going to get a muskie if you're fishing for them. Now I think that's mainly just a saying, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of very good muskie fishermen that can get them all the time. Although there's muskie in this river, it's not that common to actually catch one, and we weren't even fishing for them. We were fishing for, you know, rock bass, trout, stuff like that. But right out there, my buddy Tom hooked on to what he thought was a rock. I was standing over there somewhere, and he was right where I am right here on this rock. And I saw him snag, and he was pulling. He's like, gosh dang it, as you can see, with how the shore looks, snagging your lure on a rock out here was pretty common. Lost many lures out here. So he started kind of meandering around, trying to get a little different angle to get his lure out. But to his surprise, the rock he was snagged on all of a sudden went from like that area and started shooting that way. It wasn't a rock. It was a very, very large fish. So, to make a long story short, he fought this fish and fought it. It was all over out here. Super nervous he was going to get it snagged. He kind of fought it around over here, and then it started coming over here. So what he did was he started scurrying down these rocks. The river's high right now, so not all the rocks that at that time you were able to kind of jump to, like all through here, which are still visible, but they look very slippery. So he was able to move a little faster than I am, but I'm gonna go over to this point over here and I'll finish my story. Okay, so I was just standing over there. I've made it downstream a little bit. At this point, Tom had fought this fish for maybe 10 minutes or so out in this area, and it had started going over and messing around in here by the current, so he was getting real nervous. Remember, we were not rigged up for heavy fish. His drag set light, so he was really trying not to lose this fish and trying not to have it break the line. But the worst case scenario happened. That fish got in the current here and started motivating down this current. So my buddy Tom proceeded to run very clumsily down the shore here. Got some trout right there. Pretty cool. Ooh, these rocks are slippery. So I'm not sure what that bug was. Let me know if you guys know. Okay, so I've made it down shore a little more. And my story's almost at the end. So I'm gonna stay up here on the dry rocks because those are insanely slippery. At this point, the fish had ran down the current. You can see there's where the current kind of starts slowing down. You got a little eddy over here. Well, at this point, the fish was getting pretty tuckered out, and my friend Tom managed to get the fish in here. And like I said, the water was a little lower, so he would have been standing on some of those rocks right out here. But he got the fish all the way into shore. We had no net on us. This was after probably 20 minutes to 25 minutes of fighting this fish. So he got it up next to shore and could see, and this is when he started getting shaky and excited. He could see this was a high 30-inch, potentially even a 40-inch muskie. Giant. It was his by far biggest muskie he had ever hooked onto, and he's been all over different lakes muskie fishing, but it came into shore. It kind of spun its head around so that its head was facing back out into the current away from the shore, and Tom managed to get his right hand around like the tail of it, and the thing spit the lure, and then just ever so slowly just swam back out into the current. And Tom was trying to grab its tail and it kept slipping out, and Tom watched the biggest muskie at that point that he had ever caught in his life slowly swim away. So I don't know, it's always been a debate. He got it into shore. He didn't get it out of the water, but he got it into shore and laid hands on it. So it's always been a debate whether he considers that a caught fish or not. I think he's leaning towards it wouldn't count as a caught fish, but let me know what you guys think. It was an experience that neither one of us will ever forget. Every time I cross that bridge, literally every time, I think about that experience. Nice little island right there. Be fun to come back and try to do an overnight on that island. Well, friends, let me know if any of you guys have any kind of budget-friendly ideas for me to do to the new Nissan Xterra. That's going to be a fun build for the channel. I'm looking forward to that. And just so you all know, because I know some of you don't like it, but stick with me. It's all for good reasons, but there's going to be some videos coming up, promotional videos, product sponsored videos. I'm going to keep them to a minimum. I've been testing some stuff out currently, and I'm really liking it. So I think I am going to let you guys know about it. But I think this is a good place to end the video after that good story and standing out here and just reminiscing a little bit about simpler times when a guy was younger and didn't have all the responsibilities of not being in high school. So with that being said, to the military men and women, past, present, future, thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom. And we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye, friends.